Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling Joe proudly presents to you its second longest running weekly episodic podcast, After Fucking Dark. I was debating the opening for that Heavy G all day, and I was like, I gotta drop it.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
So take over again early night this night. I didn't even work today. I got off early, so I said, "Fuck it, let's start early." Because the point of the takeover is at some point on Thursday, you're gonna hear us. This is a fun week because I got nothing planned. 2 weeks back into work and just stressed, so I just brought up a bunch of random Reddit stuff, the goings on in wrestling currently, and we're just gonna just chat. People pass by, they can say hello or fuck off or we're terrible or
whatever.
Yeah, right. So first thing gonna come up that I'm gonna talk about, June 1st, MLW had Battle Riot 6. Their 40-man battle royal, which is basically their Money in the Bank contract, kind of title shot deal thingy. Do you know who won?
I do not.
The final two were Sami Callihan and Matt Riddle.
Probably Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle did win. Yeah, and Matt Riddle was in MLW before, I believe, if not in and around doing his indie shtick. So, like, that's a welcome back to him. Sami Callihan to me is the main event name on the indies. So, that's a big, big win for Riddle. And he's still using the RKO.
But do you think his main event push, though, is gone?
If he goes back to WWE, probably depends on if Orton's still around. But for him to go on the indies now, he's a WWE polished name and was pretty much in a lot of high profile stuff. And even if he wasn't, you knew who Matt Riddle was.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking Callihan.
Oh, on that indie downslide, I think he's got his Terry Funk run coming. He might have one more run left in him, but you're going to easily keep him at the upper mid cards.
Yeah,
for everything he's done, I find. NWA on June 1st also had a Back to the Territories taping for NWA Power. I don't got the resorts, wasn't really paying attention. To me, I want to talk about GCW because there was fucking 4 new GCW champions crowned. Blake Christian got injured, so they had a gauntlet of survival. I have to bring it up because it's fucking ridiculous to people. So they do it. By the way, nobody's paying attention to GCW. Cardone is hurt, and he's their general manager. So it's just nonsensical fuckery. So, Gauntlet of Survival match, originally involving John Wayne Murdoch, Casey Cattell, One Called Manders, Microman, Shane Mercer, Jordan Oliver, really good, and Charlie Manson. The winner, Nick Gage. Next comes out Cardona saying he's not the last person in the kind of thing. Broski, Jimmy Lloyd is the last person in it. So then Jimmy Lloyd turns to beat Nick Gage for the GCW title, to which Joey Janela on this show returns from the hospital to come out and beat Broski, Jimmy Lloyd, to win the GCW championship.
Oh, come on.
Only for Mace Warner, who opened the show in a blood feud match against Effie and lost, cashed in his do-or-die contract to defeat Joey Janela and rob him of the GCW title. Mace Warner is married to Stephanie DeLander, or they're together. So, like, that connection is there, and I fucking love it. Because to me, it's layers, right? Oh, yeah, and by the way, because Sleazy can't cut it out, Mace Warner was part of the group the group that was called Cunt.
We were just talking about that the other day.
That's amazing. Other stuff going on currently. This weekend coming up is NXT Battleground. I know there is a New Japan show that day too, but Sleazy's not here, and we're racist apparently.
Yeah. Remember, you have to squint.
Right? So, card coming up for Battleground, I'll go into, is actually history-making card for me because you're crowning a brand new women's North American champion. Solo Roca, Lash Legend, Fallon Henry, Jada Parker, Mia Yim, and Kalani Jordan. It is another great example of NXT. I think these girls all are deep or have the possibility to be like great talent. So here's your time to shine. NXT is great for that. If there's matchups and being shit, you had your chance to prove it. I think Lash Legends win it, personally. I
was going to agree with you there.
Trick Williams, but see, you can't have daddy with the belt, not mommy. So we got Shayna Baszler and Lola Voice in a NXT Underground match.
I think Shayna does the job here.
Lola won the last one against Natty too. See, that's where I'm hesitant. Like, at that point? Are you pushing Lola?
Yes.
Because if that's what it is, then you're pushing Lola, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Shayna's well established. I think she can handle a loss. I think.
But she's been through a lot too, right?
Yeah. The loss ain't gonna hurt her.
Roxanne Perez, Jordan Grace.
We talked about this on Tuesday's show. They don't think Sleazy and Fat Man both think that Perez is going to win.
Obviously,
I don't.
If Jordan Grace wins by DQ, I do not see them putting the NXT Women's title on Jordan Grace. There is no way Jay Briscoe is winning the Ring of Honor World title.
I would love to see them. I think having them be coinciding with TNA, I think it'd be great. If anyone would be deserving of holding a belt in two different companies, I think it would be her.
I don't disagree with that. Fair enough, because like Jordan Grace is one of the standouts that I think should be in one of the big two.
Yes,
I think it sucks that TNA is not considered a big three. They were at one point, but
yeah, but I mean, if you think about women's wrestling, I mean, would you put two titles on Bianca? No.
I think Bianca's different. It's like the Omega. It's like the Omega thing, but if you're right, it's the reverse of it, and it puts a different light on it. So, as much as I will say I know Roxanne Perez is not losing that title, part of me wants you to be right.
Oh, I honestly, in here, I don't think she's winning it. In here, I would love to see her win it. Just so it's something. It's if I'll put it to you this way: if Vince was here, I don't think it would be a snowball's chance in hell she would win.
If Vince was here, this wasn't happening.
True that. I think there's a slot. I give it a 15% chance.
I think you're a little gracious in that number, but that's fine. Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the OC.
Was that a pun?
Wasn't meant to be, but like I like throwing them out like that. Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus OC for the NXT Tag Team titles. You got to give the OC, right? Like
it's got to be the OC.
Frazier and Axiom had them. They had their little fun. Give them belts to Good Brothers, please, just for me.
Yeah, I know
none of you listen to our podcast, but like, just do it for me, please.
I think the OC is gonna do it. They haven't had a title since they came back, have they?
Not since they come back, no.
I think they're due.
Let's see, subgroups. Yeah, they held the tag team titles on Raw twice. They won the WWE Tag Team World Cup in 2019, and that was all their first run. And then, again, I want to see OC win. 2 matches left. Obafemi, Wesley, Joe Coffey, which I think is going to steal the fucking show in a 3-way for the North American title. And I don't care who wins. I really don't like, and I can't say, one kid should win over the other and blah, 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 blah. The only thing I'd say to this is Obafemi, if he loses the belt, does not get pinned.
No, I think Obafemi does. I think if he, like you're right, if he loses, he's not the one getting pinned. I believe you're right. I don't see him losing.
Yeah, I got my scorecard. He's pinning Coffey. Because I can't plug our scorecard enough. And then Trick Williams and fucking all ego Ethan Page.
That's going to be
drops
good.
A great line on Tuesday night. I could have sat home for 2 years and collect the paycheck, but that's not what I want to do. That's the kind of shit that you do in NXT to get those little digs for those 300 people. But when you're doing it in AEW size crowds, that's where the problem lies.
Does he come in and win the title right away?
I wouldn't end it now. WrestleMania or Money in the Bank WrestleMania weekend. Money in the Bank weekend, they got a big NXT show. I'd probably have him hold the belt till then and somebody beat him. But that's only like 2024 in pro wrestling. Let me just go back here, sir. Yeah, Money in the Bank July 6th is like a month away. In Toronto. If anything, have Page beat him there.
Yeah.
Right? That Canadian, they're going to be fucking crazy anyways. Unless you're a really good heel. If you're a really good heel, you'll get booed in your hometown.
Yeah. Can I just, speaking, I mean, it's off the subject with Trick Williams, but I really don't like what they're doing with Carmelo on the main roster.
I see where you're coming from, but it is a problem that a lot of the NXT names coming up have. It's just and I've said it before about old NXT, Black and Gold, and 2.0, and Porn NXT, and all that shit. It's great that you can get over in front of 300 people that are rabid fans that are told what to do, and that's fine. That's great, and you have that. If you can't portray that to the main roster, and not many people do, if you can't portray that to the main roster, it's no good. Most people before this were portrayed by Vince McMahon with this feud standard. I look at Braun Breaker now. He's been booked like an absolute fucking beast since he's got brought up.
Yep.
Booked properly. Some of the girls aren't yet, but again, I feel it's going to be any NXT names, give them 6 months. After 6 months, see what they're doing. But Breaker's got a shot that they've said that Breaker's like a main event guy in a couple of years, and he is. Call him Steiner if you want. I'd let him make his own name when he gets fired and he goes by Steiner and he comes back. Let him be Steiner then.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't help that Carmelo also said the wrong name during his promo.
Fuck. You can imagine live TV and you're going to choose somebody out for that. Jesus Christ. But I mean, that's the toxic IWC fan base we are. You said that word wrong. You're a fucking idiot. Go back to NXT.
But LA Knight put him right in his place too.
Because LA Knight's smart.
I mean, but he didn't do it like in a condescending. He's like, oh, you mean that? In character, put him in his place. I mean, it was just. I mean, it's a shame because Carmelo was so good at NXT and had such a great storyline. And another person that I don't think is doing well in the roster is Ilya Dragunov. You got to get him with Gunther.
After SummerSlam.
Why?
Don't touch it before. Don't give it away on free TV. That fight has happened twice already, and they are both been 5-star bangers. Do not give that away on free TV. Put that on a premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it.
And then put him with. Don't put Shea. Like on Monday, they have Ludwig Kaiser with Sheamus. Don't put Ludwig Kaiser with Sheamus. Put Ludwig Kaiser against Ilya to get to Gunther.
It's coming. Dragunov's going to save Sheamus. Like, give it time. You're from the 80s and the 70s and the 1930s. You watched Hitler rise to power.
Okay, fucker. Wait a minute. I'll give you the 70s and the 80s.
Abraham Lincoln
the 30s, you Canadian bastard, you.
You were 3 years old and the fans going, honest Dave, Dave.
Just because I remember Karl Gotch doesn't mean.
Listen, Frank Gotch was my daddy for years. Don't go tell me. Now, with that being said, we also have a couple other shows coming up. Forbidden Doors coming up at the end of the month, anyways, with only 4 matches signed. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay for the AEW title. Take a shit at Mark Briscoe and other people for the ladder match for the TNT Championship, which is vacated by Edge, thinking he was 30. Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Becker in a winner-take-all match for the TBS Championship and the New Japan Strong Championship. The belt that was made for Mercedes, and she injured herself, and Willow had to win it. Mm-hmm. And Stone Storm versus Mina Shikara for the AEW Women's Championship, and they got their own little storyline going. So far, building good. It just sucks that there's going to be 15 more fucking matches added to this card because they don't know how to pace themselves.
Yeah, it's going to be 5.5 hours.
That man's gonna lose his fucking mind again.
Oh man. I'm looking forward to Strickland Ospreay.
Absolutely.
That's gonna anything with Osprey in it's gonna be really good. I mean,
which is funny to point that out. Ospreay's taking a little sabbatical. His hectic wrestling schedule has been too much on his body. So for that
yeah,
Triple H took over the weekend,
yeah,
WrestleMania, fucking absolutely well worth it. Fuck you,
yeah.
Will Ospreay. Don't bitch about that shit and then try to get cheeky and take a fucking dig. And now you're gonna be like, oh, I'm working too much. When you took
Right.
AEW so you could work less, and now you're not.
Yeah. But I mean, it also that style also took his toll on Kenny Omega too.
It's like we've been saying for years, don't fucking wrestle that style.
Right.
It's great that all you guys are loving it and like, oh, it's super over, but like you're killing your bodies for people that could give two fucks less once you're injured.
Yeah. And I have to get your opinion on the Anarchy in the Arena.
I love chaos like that.
Even the flamethrower spot?
Love it. Because it's chaos. It's anarchy in the arena.
But at one point, is it too much?
He set him on fire, dude. There's no too much.
That's what I mean. At
they
one point,
up a steel chair with those explosives. Last year they did an explosive super kick. Like there's no, if you're gonna call something anarchy, there is absolutely no way you can have any kind of fucking Eddie Kingston tried to light somebody on fire a couple of years ago, but they stopped it because they didn't know how to play with fire right. That was an instance that they played with fire right.
There's just so many things that could just go wrong.
Absolutely. That's why they were there so quick with fire extinguishers and nothing went wrong. I hate the mentality after the fact of, oh my God, so many things could have went wrong when it didn't. It didn't go wrong. It looked fucking crazy.
I get that. But see, then maybe like I said, maybe this is the old school way of me thinking, but everything was right until Owen went like this and a piece of string caught that harness.
Darby Allin got hit by a fucking bus a month before this match, okay? Like if he wants to set somebody on fire, let him do it. He's not taking a crazy bump.
If he slips, if he misses a footing or something and that flamethrower goes 2 inches higher or the way Tony Khan was right next to him, that could have went to him.
Can you imagine that the toast? just cocaine powder flying everywhere.
It's a risk. I get it. It's a calculated risk, but
as much as everybody shits on AEW for it, when Matt Hardy had hit his head, he had a concussion, sent him back to the match, bad. This stuff, when all intents and purposes, I like chaos, I like anarchy, I like mayhem, I love these spots. So I'm not going to shit on as much of it as other people would. But every time I hear Anarchy in Arena or one of their stadium stampedes or anything like that, like I know it's going to be violent, possibly bloody, and more extreme than what WWE is going to give me when they promote something like that.
Yeah, but to me, it's like and I said on the show, it's like what Jim Cornette said. Okay, then there's a table. Then you have thumbtacks on the table. Then you have thumbtacks and barbed wire on the table. Then you have the thumbtacks and barbed wire. Then you have the table on fire. And then you have to have AIDS-infected hypodermic needles around the table that's filled with thumbtacks and barbed wire that's on fire. You know, and it's just at one point, okay, the next year, what can you possibly do to top that? Or the next Anarchy in the Arena? What can you do now to top setting somebody on fire?
Set two people on fire.
It gets ridiculous.
I know.
It just becomes more and more and more ridiculous and more outside the realm.
I watched a death match that a guy jammed a needle through one cheek, jammed a needle through
and
hit him with a super kick. Like
I've seen that. I mean, I saw where Jun Kasai took that bump on that Razor Blade board.
Stupid bumps.
Or that guy taking a chair shot with the kins on his head, and they had to pry it off with a screwdriver. I mean, some things just aren't worth the risk.
Yeah, but it is to me because I love
Yeah.
Speaking of Braun Breaker, apparently he's getting ready to get the rocket strapped to his back to become one of the faces of the Netflix era.
He is just the way he hits those ropes. My gosh.
It's the high speed. It's how he fucked his leg. Ooh, 10 years ago today, the Shield broke up.
Wow.
To tell you how long, like, where the fuck did 10 years go?
Oh, is that when that's when Rollins
The chair, yeah,
the
and the
chair.
brutal beatdown.
Yep. Wow. Wow.
Right? Just to think where wrestling has gone in 10 years from that moment alone.
Batista's a movie star. Triple H is no longer wrestling.
Orton's still there. Moxley's not in WWE anymore.
Moxley's bleeding at the drop of a hat now.
Roman became one of the most
Moxley's the new Flair. By the way, did you see MJF's promo? I will say this: when he did the Flair elbow on the mask, I popped. I popped.
I popped every time.
Oh, it was phenomenal. He did the and he popped the elbow, coming out just like Triple H #1, and then I don't know what he did, what the hair was. I mean, I'm trying to get the poof hair like he had, but
poofy hair, that's DT.
Oh my gosh! I mean, the promo was great. Him doing the elbow on the mask was.
But it was what was me like. I could tell AEW was missing that MJF promo every week because that is ingrained in the AEW product.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like good, bad, or indifferent, MJF's going to bury every single person except himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's how it's going to go, which is fine. But it was missing.
Oh yeah, his energy was missing in that program.
And to me that tells you how fucking broken AEW fans are. That man's a heel. I don't give two fucks. That man is a heel. He's a heel at heart. I like heel wrestlers most of the time anyway, so I go against the grain for that shit. But like MJF is fucking money, boys, as a heel. Don't have him play anything else. Don't have the fake niceness. Like just. But AEW goes back to my rant. AEW fans don't give a fuck about faces and heels.
I don't want to say he's like Austin.
Wow.
I don't want to say that because Austin was a heel, and then he did that double turn with Brett, and once he became a babyface, they hated him as a heel. They didn't want him as a heel anymore, and I think if MJF does that, if he becomes a babyface, I don't think he can go back. I don't think he can. I don't think he's one that can flip back and forth.
And to me, it's like Triple H. Triple H, fine face, way better heel.
Oh, I'll agree with you. I mean, the same thing. Kevin E put down, get that MJF Cole MJF feud on the go. Oh, that's going to be on the go as soon as Cole gets cleared. I mean, Cole's injured and he took that brainbuster like a champ. There's going to be, I think Adam Cole MJF is going to be your next series of
Forbidden Door match.
Yeah, I think that's going to be your next series of. I can see that being your next dog collar match, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you what, the whole thing, the promo leading up to it shows the ring. It shows the Nightmare Factory sweatshirt, the dog collar. I mean, the vignette before he comes out was absolutely amazing. Swerve can drive off a cliff.
Wow, when I swerve, when I drive, man, you
Whose
better
house?
Swerve's
Whose house?
house. Kevin, you're an AEW mark. What is your issue? Swerve can drive off a cliff.
I gotta.
I'm personally looking forward to what's coming up overall in wrestling, personally to me, but I'm a big wrestling fan. I like most of it. Other big shows we got coming up after Battleground. TNA has Against All Odds. Main event, Matt Hardy and Moose. AAA is having their Triple Mania 32 series. It's part of Vampiro's retirement. Clash of the Castle in Scotland is on the 15th, which is next fucking weekend. Holy shit, the wrestling we got. GCW with their shows like they have, and Forbidden Doors at the end of the month. So we're pretty full up like on actual good wrestling to come.
Yeah.
As I keep looking through, like, and I'm just kind of scrolling Reddit and dirt sheets and kind of going through all that just to see what else we can kind of chat about and shoot the shit about here. I know Chad Gable, his contract expires on the 5th, or the 7th, but the pay-per-view is not till the 15th.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's talks that giving him the belt is what's going to have him resign.
I do have a question for you.
Okay.
How many cups of your tears were wrung out on Tuesday night when you got home? I felt so sorry for you.
What? That broke my heart because
dude, I was heartbroken for you, man.
I was trying to listen along at work too, just trying to be on the sly, and I got about 15 minutes. I timed my break for it and stuff. But like, I found that fucker on YouTube looking for trivia for our shit, and put him over fucking immensely. And like Kevin J. Callis, yeah,
hey,
great guy. Like from what I got from the podcast, he's been real like interactive with us, so I'll put him over every time.
And you and I both said it. You know, you and I both said about it. You're looking at for that for trivia. I said it on the show, and you were like, "Yeah, I was watching." And then it's like I just felt so bad that you weren't there, man.
No, but he's a friend of the show now, which is a cool thing to say.
Yeah,
we have Dietz's next because that's basically what it is now. It's the TWS Jeopardy Championship, which is currently held by Dickhead. And the next defense will be that WCW one. I heard him say that they think it's hard, so let's fucking go,
Mr. Panko.
Mr. Panko.
And by the way, shout out to our TWS champion who is recovering from pancreatitis. It's in the hospital. And a shout out to Fat Man who is recovering at home from neck fusion surgery. Get well to both of you guys.
And Buck Sleazy for having a Chinese buffet in his house for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh. Aha. So
you want to fight a race?
So fight ice. But no, seriously, just you guys are get on the mend. I can't believe they with a fusion surgery he got sent home.
Yeah, but it was not really going to do anything to stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but hopefully he's home having a neck brace on, have some good pain meds. Maybe he's listening to the show, drifting getting out of consciousness with the pain meds. Yeah. So,
well, as you're talking about hardcore wrestling, I'm done.
I'm trying to think of what else I could talk about. I mean,
again, everything's coming up for shows and stuff. Like, if you're not watching the weeklies, it's hard pressed to talk about much. Most of you fucking idiots don't watch weeklies, or at least take the time, right?
Right.
Funny meme. Did you ever know that young Owen Hart looks like He-Man?
Yeah.
I just noticed that. See, in the categories.
I mean, everybody picks on me because I'm the oldest one on the show, and yes, I was watching.
And you're a rookie, man. You fucking get that true. You're like the new kid and the old kid. You're like fucking John Nolan from The Rookie.
Yeah. But so I will say that maybe I am jaded because I'm used to seeing, like I said, like when everyone says like your greatest match for me. I mean, what people say, I like to say Undertaker,
Michael's
Shawn.
25.
Mine is the Flair Steamboat best of 3. Chi-Town Rumble. My second favorite match is the original War Games. I can tell you that match forward and backwards. I mean, my favorite spots in that match are Arn and Dusty start it. Tully comes in, make it 2-on-1. Animal comes in, throws Tully over both sets of ropes, goes in, elbows Arn. Tully comes after him, does the flying shoulder tackle, and then he takes Tully by the legs like this and grabs like the bottom of his legs and just starts going like this and throwing him face first in the cage. And then all I can remember is hearing Jim Ross, you see Nikita's ready, and then you just see him come I just like The Rock does. I mean, I still get goosebumps every time I talk about that match.
Well, that's what it's going to be. Like, every time I watch Taker Michaels from 25, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Rock Austin, Rock Hogan, same things from the Mania. Like, they were you just submerge yourself in it. Honestly, people are going to talk about Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes 1 and 2, like they talk about those matches in years.
I mean, I'll pop for any Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express matches with Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane. I mean, hell, the scaffold match between the Road Warriors and the Midnight Express. So yeah, I'm old. I'm old school when it comes to that. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not really a spot fest guy.
No, we were like Fat Man like that.
Yeah, I mean, some spots are good, but I don't want to see a top rope. I don't want to see 3 clotheslines and then a top rope destroyer and then kick out in 1. A top rope Canadian destroyer and somebody kick out at 1. I mean, I remember when a super kick was a finish, and now there's 35 in a match.
Yeah, but the problem is who's throwing a super kick. Shawn Michaels hit you with a super kick, you're going down. Jake the Snake Roberts hit you with a DDT, you're going down. You know what I mean? Like, a lot, and that goes with the suspend disbelief shit. Like, Goldberg comes back to more, boys. It's fucking Goldberg in the world of professional wrestling. I don't care how old he is. It's still fucking Goldberg. The Undertaker comes back tomorrow. I'm gonna pop the fuck out. Like, if you don't suspend your disbelief, you're not gonna enjoy wrestling. And the second you pick one thing not to suspend your disbelief about, like comedy, it's either all funny or it's not funny. Either suspend your disbelief about all of it and just enjoy the fucking show and do whatever, or don't suspend your disbelief, don't watch it, and don't let it make you angry.
I don't get angry, but I'm more into if it's a good storyline. Like the whole Cody bloodline thing, phenomenal. The whole bloodline angle just to begin with is phenomenal. And what they're doing now with it, because it's in the back of your head, you're playing what's going to happen when Roman comes back.
Oh, every bit is all it's going.
Exactly. It's like, okay, is Roman going to come back as a face? Or is he gonna come back as a heel and then Solo's gonna make him turn face? You just don't, that's the kind of stuff that intrigues me anymore. The physical stuff, when you have guys that are my size that can do a standing moonsault now,
like it's nothing, by the way.
Yeah, it's impressive. I will give them that. I mean, the things that Keith Lee can do, Dijak, some of the big guys that can just move and do these aerial maneuvers and stuff that you'd only see guys like Leo Rush do or Ricochet. While phenomenal, to me, it's like when I forget who did a drop kick. Oh no, it was when who was it? I said who said it? Diesel. Diesel was wrestling. It was in an interview. Diesel was wrestling Bob Backlund, and he did a sunset, and Bob Backlund called a sunset flip.
I remember hearing this story.
And he said it was almost like my back was almost on the canvas while my legs were still standing. And Taker said, "If I ever see you do that again."
Like what would you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
but then again, like I said, that's you. Speaking of old school versus new school, and it's like, but I try to suspend my disbelief. I try. I mean, just, but it's hard to suspend your disbelief when you see all the behind the scenes stuff that WWE puts out.
You see all the behind the scenes stuff on TV shows, on movies. And all that shit comes with extras and DVD specials and backstage interview, like all of that. And that's why I never understand why me as a wrestling fan had to defend the shit I like while fucking idiots are watching The Bachelor and calling my shit fake.
Oh,
well, you know what I mean? Like, is that premise that?
Yeah, no, I know you're completely right. Well, I mean, what's the difference between what we watch and a movie or television series? Yeah, I get it. I mean, there's nothing different between what we watch and The Walking Dead, Dexter, whatever, Blue Bloods, House, or whatever. I get it. I mean, I guess I enjoy it to a point, but I just, like I said, maybe it's just me being the old curmudgeon that I am. I just missed the days where it was,
No, and me too. I get it. So this has been a long ass day for me personally. Again, so this is gonna be all right. Like I did last episode, it's gonna be I've lit my last smoke, and usually the sign out is gonna just throw up too sweet, or end the stream, and that's how we end it. Makes it easier. But the last thing we're gonna talk about is going to be I'm gonna give you 3 names. Who wins Money in the Bank?
All right.
LA Knight,
Sami
Zayn, or Jey Uso.
Wow.
I give it to Zayn. I think he deserves it more, but Uso's the right call. To me.
I would say I would agree with you because I think you had an earlier thing with Uso and Damian Priest earlier when Priest first won the title. You had that conflict earlier. We said about both of us getting here, but I'm here and you're not. That both of us are going to make it, but I have the title. Remember when he first won it and they had that confrontation?
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see LA Knight, yeah, winning the US title. Now, if they don't put the US title on LA Knight, I see LA Knight winning Money in the Bank.
You see, Money in the Bank happens before I think LA Knight's winning US title. I think he's winning it in Cleveland against Logan Paul at SummerSlam.
Well, then if that would be the only way I can see Jey Uso winning Money in the Bank.
That's fair.
If not, I mean, well, speaking of LA Knight, I didn't see LA Knight do that elbow drop when The Rock was back. By the way, just saying. Sami Zayn, I think, had his run. I mean, with the Bloodline being that pushed as far as he did, having the tag titles, having the Intercontinental title. I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins Money in the Bank. I think you have to give it to Jey Uso because then you can also have possibly the Bloodline screwing him out of another title shot. And then you can have screwing him out of the title. Then you could have his brother coming back, Roman, and then, and that's where you can give Sammy the second push, having him join. You have the old bloodline versus the new bloodline. That's where you can give Sammy that second push.
Fair. No, understandable. Sir?
Sir?